Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. It's the podcast where we have digital discussions, the worlds of TV, film, sports, social media, pop culture, everything really. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On Twitter, you know me as PD Beats. We are indeed in the golden age of television. There are so many amazing shows that are coming out year after year. And one of those amazing shows is a show that YouTube kind of released. Last year, season 1 came out. And recently, season 2 has been taking the world by storm. And it just got released. It just got actually renewed for season 3. And we're talking about Cobra Kai. And we are speaking to an actor who you will recognize as Dimitri in Cobra Kai. We are with Gianni DeCenzo. Gianni, welcome to Popternative.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Icebreaker question. When did you decide that acting and storytelling was something that you wanted to do?
So it was about 9 years ago when I was 8. Acting had always kind of been in my family. My parents actually met in an acting class, and my dad proposed to my mom in the same acting class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just kind of remember when I was 8 years old, just kind of walking up to my parents and being like, so when am I going to be on TV? You know, and the rest is history. Here I am.
Absolutely. And was your character on Cobra Kai, we'll get into it a little bit more, but he kind of provides us with a little bit of the comic relief, so to speak. Was that kind of the genre that you were kind of interested in doing at a young age as well?
Yeah, I would say I prefer kind of comedy. It's just really fun to be able to tell jokes and make people laugh and stuff like that. So to be able to play the comic relief Dimitri on Cobra Kai, it's just a lot of fun. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And you know, season 1 of Cobra Kai was kind of like an introduction. You're meeting kind of old characters, new characters. Yeah. You're kind of seeing the evolution. Season 2 kind of comes out with a bang, and you're kind of you're meeting more old characters that you didn't see in season 1, and then just the character development of all these characters from season 1. It's like you kind of get to know them a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. It's really awesome because season 1, like you said, yeah, we kind of meeting people, we see old friends, new friends, and then in season 2, we kind of open up the cast to it becomes like a bigger cast, and we just get to kind of build off of previous stories from season 1, and that's what makes season 2 so amazing.
What was your kind of favorite thing about season 2? Series regular in season 2, so congrats on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really amazing.
But what were some kind of cool things about filming it, the reaction afterwards? What were some highlights for you?
Definitely, I would say actually being able to do karate in the second season. You know, in the first one, I kind of stayed back. You know, karate wasn't really Dimitri's thing. But now actually being able to kind of, get my hands dirty, getting to do some of the kicks and punches. And the cool thing is that they actually train us on the set. They kind of have this place where we go, we work out, we do stretches and stuff like that. So it's really just kind of awesome to get that kind of experience. That's not something I've ever really done on any other set before. And so it's just amazing.
What was kind of, when you found out, even in season 1, about the opportunity of possibly being part of Cobra Kai, what was kind of going through your head? Was it going through your head that maybe it was kind of something that you weren't as used to or comfortable doing as compared to other things that you've acted in? Like, what was going through your mind?
So you mean being on the show Cobra Kai?
Yeah, being on the show Cobra Kai.
You know, when I had first heard about it, I wasn't really sure what it was. I knew that it was taking place 30 years after The Karate Kid and that it was a continuation of this. But when I had gotten the audition, that was the first time I had heard of it. And it sounded awesome. I mean, when I got the script, it was a great script. And I really liked the part Dimitri from the very beginning. So I would say that I was kind of optimistic about going into it, but I really was surprised to see what it turned into.
Oh, for sure. And it definitely turned into a big success. I mean, this is a show that, I had an opportunity when season 1 came out. I interviewed, Joe Seo and Bo Mitchell. They kind of played the bullies in season 1.
Yeah, great guys.
Great guys. And it's just like, it's just like it. So many shows are like spin-offs or like prequels to past kind of past like pop culture stuff. You know what I mean? But and like it's hard to do. Like it's a hard thing to do. But like since episode 1 came out of season 1, like I mean, you guys just hit it out of the park. Like it worked right away.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see, Cobra Kai being able to take all the stuff from the original Karate Kid and kind of organically fit it into Cobra Kai. They're not like forcing it on you. It's very natural. You feel like you're seeing an old friend, It's really cool.
Absolutely. One thing I wanted to kind of talk to you about in terms of, the actual show and kind of what goes on, the characters, is I find that there's like one of my favorite things about shows, Gianni, is like the voice of reason characters. So, in like Boy Meets World, you had like Mr. Feeney, in Karate Kid, you had Mr. Miyagi. I find that in Cobra Kai, there's kind of a struggle to figure out who the actual voice of reason is. Sometimes you see Daddy LaRusso, sometimes Johnny Lawrence, sometimes it's not. Do you kind of feel what I'm getting at a little bit? It's like you're not sure.
It's a very interesting dynamic. There's no like clear cut who's the good guy here, who's the bad guy. We're really getting to see both sides of the story, and that's really what makes the show amazing, because it's kind of interesting. You're not really sure who to root for. You have one idea here, and then the next episode comes along and you're like, whoa, okay, what's happening now? It's cool. Yeah.
It's really cool. If we talk about some of the other characters, I mean, your character, in some regards, the karate, like you mentioned, there was kind of some evolution and transformations of Dimitri, but one character that just kind of transformed is Eli Hawk. You know what I mean? Like that character is just insane. The way he's developed. You know what I mean? How important do you think it is for shows like Cobra Kai to properly develop characters without rushing it, so to speak?
I mean, in any show, characters are everything, and you want to kind of nurture their story, because that's what, propels the show forward. So with any sort of character in any show, you want to take your time. You don't want to rush things. But in a case like, Hawk, it shows you just how extreme Cobra Kai can get, where you take someone like Eli and he can do a complete 360 turn, and now he's this badass Hawk. And I think that's what really makes, the show pop, because it shows like the strength of Cobra Kai.
It does show the strength of Cobra Kai, absolutely. What do you kind of think in terms of your character, Dimitri, the evolution of it, in terms of how you kind of had to present yourself present the character? So what I mean by that is, for example, he's still kind of the nerd, the geeky, very outspoken guy in season 1, right? But he's starting to get a little bit more confidence. So with that said, is the preparation of the role, or how you kind of present the role, does that change at all?
Yeah, so with Dimitri, there are a lot of parts of him that I share with him. And so kind of going into it, I try to, with any role, bring forward some of my own experiences. And like you said, with Dimitri, his transformation is a bit more slow rather than Hawk and all the other characters. Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting to kind of see that.
Absolutely. Other characters too, like I feel like Miguel kind of takes a little bit of a while to transform a little bit, because I feel like you're not sure where, you're not, I'm not sure about Miguel. Like, I don't know if he's like a bad guy. Like, he's obviously a good guy, but he's done some things or had some kind of ideologies to make you seem like he's the bad guy. It's like, I'm not sure about some of the characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Throughout the whole show, you don't really know who the bad guy is, because in real life, it's never really that clear,
I think in season 1, my favorite scene was when he finds out, Johnny finds out that Miguel and like Samantha, Daddy LaRusso's daughter, are like dating. And he kind of gives them the talk, and he gives like his perspective of like what happened. And they went to flashbacks from the movie. So like they show kind of like, and then Daddy LaRusso came to town, and they showed like, I just wanted to talk to Ali, and he sucker punched me, and he's making it seem like like LaRusso was the bad guy. You know what I mean?
And that's what is so amazing about Cobra Kai, because it takes your original way of thinking and it kind of flips it on its head. We don't know who the bad guy is. We don't know who the good guy is. They both have their faults and they're both good people, but they're clashing.
Absolutely, and it's amazing. I want to shift more now, talking about the amazing fan base that Cobra Kai has. You see it on social media; it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The fan base, the Cobra Kai fans are unbelievable fans, right?
Yeah, they're amazing. I couldn't ask for a better fan base. They're just so giving and they're so supportive, and it's really encouraging to have something like that. You know that you're doing a good job and that people like what you're doing.
Do you find though that it didn't take that long for the show to get kind of the success on social media? I feel like the season season 1 was put online and then boom, it was instant fan base for the show.
Yeah, that's what I saw it was kind of a boom, because when people first heard about it, they were kind of skeptical. They were like, all right, what is this? But as soon as it came out, they were just all over that. They loved it because it really is an amazing story.
No, it is an amazing story, and your character is involved with that amazing story. And just for people that haven't seen Cobra Kai season 2, what can you tell them compared to season 1 without kind of spoiling anything? But what are kind of some key things and differences between the two seasons?
So with season 2, we kind of branch out as far as characters. There's a lot more interesting characters, and we really build on existing stories from season 1. Without spoiling things, you get to see more of Dimitri, your friendly neighborhood nerd. He gets punched around some more, that's all going to be happening. But it's really amazing. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go see it. If you like season 1, you're going to love season 2.
Yeah, the senses aren't a big fan of Dimitri.
No, they're not a big fan of Dimitri's face.
No.
They keep punching it.
Yeah, it was that was what was that scene like to do? Was that intimidating?
It was interesting because he's such an experienced actor, and so to kind of work off of him, it was something that you can only dream of as an actor, because when you're working off of someone that is a strong actor, it makes you yourself a better actor. And it was a little intimidating, but going into the scene, you got a job to do, you got to do it, and that's what I did.
Absolutely. So you're an actor, and what I find very interesting is you're a younger guy, you're an up and coming actor. You are someone that has had success at Cobra Kai, but you're one can make an argument your acting career has just begun. There's going to be more things and everything. I find you're in an interesting spot because it's a spot where you're a young guy and you have a lot of actors and people in the industry that you look up to and you want to aspire to be. But at the same time, because of your success on a show like Cobra Kai, you might have some people that are younger that are going to look up to you and be like, wow, like Gianni DeCenzo, he's so funny. I want to be like that one day. But at the same time, you're kind of in their footsteps. You're looking up to other people as well, like your favorite actors and actresses. Have you ever thought about that dynamic? Because I find it's an interesting dynamic.
It's interesting, yeah, now that you bring it up, because, there are a lot of actors that I definitely look up to. And like you said, I am, even though I've been doing this for 9 years, I'm still kind of getting into it, and there are definitely some people out there that, ask for advice and stuff like that. And so I always try my best, it's like, hey, if you want to do this, get an agent, get a manager, just go out, do things. It's not going to be, an overnight thing. Like I said, it took me 9 years to get onto something like Cobra Kai. So it takes time, but if you stay at it, you work hard, you can find success.
No, absolutely. A kind of hallmark of Popternative, because we always want, I started the show because I kind of Popternative, I took the alt out of alternative and I added pop because I kind of wanted to talk about everything in the spectrums, the little things, the big things. I want to talk about it all. But I kind of wanted to give my viewers kind of two things, like learning experience, but also kind of behind the scenes info that they won't get info anywhere else. So a hallmark question on my show often is, misconceptions of the industry. So everyone thinks they know everything about Gianni DeCenzo and what he kind of goes through as an actor and everything, because you know how great people are on social media. They have opinions. They know everything. They're experts. You know what I mean? What are some misconceptions that you can think of about the entertainment industry, it's specifically acting, where like people are going to be like, oh, it's like this. You're like, no, it's the complete opposite of that.
Geez, it's interesting. I would just say that kind of a misconception is that acting is just so natural and that it just happens immediately. It's kind of like a muscle. You have to work at it. It's like any other talent. It takes effort. It takes dedication in order to actually see success. So like anything, you have to work at it, and you need to not give up, because otherwise you'll never get any better.
No, it's absolutely. So if you want to hear some of the ever kind of answers I got when that question was raised to ever, actors and actresses, oh man, this actor, he's brand new. I've never seen him before. Like, it's his first show ever, even though he's been doing it for like 15 years.
Yeah.
The fact that people don't realize that there's kind of a breed of like quote unquote like middle class actors and actresses that they, they're very fortunate to do what they do, but they're not making the big money that everyone else assumes they're making, even though they're on like 8 episodes of Scrubs or like 3 episodes of Suits here. You know what I mean? They're just living a life. You know what I mean? And then of course the one that always comes into play as well is the one where like people think that if you're on like one big show, you're set for life. You don't have to act like some people are. Yeah, you know what I mean. But you have to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like a freelance job. You could have this, but at any point that could end, and you got to go back out to do it. And yeah, there are certain actors that, while they might not be top name, they still have solid work, and it could take just like one of those things to get them on the market. But even then, they can't just sit back and relax. You got to always be looking for the next thing.
No, absolutely. What's some advice that you can kind of give up and coming actors or actresses or storytellers about kind of getting their feet wet in this industry?
So what I did personally when I was like just starting out, my mom actually took headshots of me. We just went outside in our front yard, took some pictures. We sent it everywhere. We did some student films to kind of get some more experience. Then we went to kind of commercials, and it's a slow process. You have to be very patient, and you got to wait, because like I said, if you're patient and you work hard enough, you can see success in this. It just takes dedication.
No, absolutely, man, for sure. Well, Gianni, we'll wrap up, but thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I really, really appreciate it. Plug away, man. Where can people follow you on social media? Where can they watch Cobra Kai? Follow away.
Well, you can watch Cobra Kai on YouTube. And then if you want to like follow me on Instagram, Gianni DeCenzo, it's, I post some stuff. I do some things, wacky little teenage self here.
I know, absolutely. Well, congrats with the success of season 2, and congrats for the renewal of season 3, man. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
No, absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Those are for the video episodes. If you don't want to see our faces, you just want to listen, we have that too. iTunes, Spotify for the audio only, so make sure to subscribe there as well. And until next time, this is Gianni DeCenzo and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.